Hi, hello once again. This is Jonathan Miller. This location here is just, I happen to be driving because I want to hit another small church, which we're going to combine in this video. This one here said Zion's, right now it's Fredericksburg Baptist Church. It's like United Zion's, looks like Children Church, erected in 1875. It also says Evangelical Meeting House Cemetery, so I don't know if there was, I'm assuming there was a building here at a much earlier time. We're going to go back here. Most of the stones seem to be lined up against the wall. Alright, good, we can get back here. Or maybe not. I'm going to pause just for... we're back. I had to do a little wrestling with that. But yeah, this is a pretty old. This is cool. Magdalena, wife of Adam Zeller, 1807 to 1881. So all these stones probably would have all been right in here. And this cemetery would have been full. That app is coming in handy. Leah Boltz, born 1823 to 1885. That's in German. Jacob, something or the other. Daniel Boltz, 1815 to 1881. So it sort of fits with this building was 1875. It fits with the dates of these tombstones being after that date. Here it looks like a Rebecca, daughter of Jacob. There's Marianne Faber. And a lot of these smaller stones. And here's the stones that are still standing. So maybe it is older, because that almost looks like a Revolutionary War badge there. But I didn't, this is another one of those. Oh, wow. Okay, Barbara Smith, wife of John Lick. I wonder if that's John Lick as in the John Lick that we were just down. Yeah, that would have been time period. Oh. Yeah, that would have been roughly the time period. Seems like maybe a little early. Maybe there's another John Lick. I don't know. Actually, this might be Grand Army of the Republic. Yeah, that's Grand Army. It says American Legion, but the stone, when they have it like this, that's usually Civil War. Peter Boltz. Yeah, maybe there was a place that was here a little earlier, because I sort of wonder, because then you have like these two stones here. The church literally was built on top of it. Which I wonder if this is, I mean, it says it's a church yet, but it almost seems like it might be a whole personal home, but I really don't know. But yeah, I didn't really, this is like this stuff where you go back and you don't realize what's all here. There's Adam Zeller, my home is heaven, 1798 to 1856. So yeah, this is older. And that's why they have a different name for the cemetery. It is the Evangelical Meeting House. So that might have very well been the church that got started by Jacob Albright and John Walther. They're called the Evangelical Association, and I think a lot of times their churches were called the Evangelical Meeting House. Yeah, there's a cool little cemetery here. I didn't realize this is here, but it's the Evangelical Meeting House Cemetery. And then it has that name, the Zion's, United Zion's Children Church, 1875. So probably was something here before, because some of these are quite a bit earlier. And there's the Magdalena, who is the wife of Adam Zeller, who's buried back over there, and that's probably her stone is the one that's like, there's a upper stone or a lower stone that they would probably sitting on. But another one of these pretty little brick churches. So with that, we will stop and try to get this fence closed. It was a little trouble to get it open. And then we're going to quick over to another little cemetery that used to be a youth ministry that I worked at. Alright, so I found a little more information now. I actually looked at the Find a Grave app. This was Evangelical Association. Land was donated in 1844, so that's why there are some headstones that have an earlier date. There was an original brick structure that was here, and it got rebuilt in 1875. The reason that stone is there is, I guess, in 1901, that United Zion's Children Church bought the property, and they had it till it was 1901 or 1907. I forget which one it was, but they eventually, well, freaking bug. But anyways, they eventually sold it in 1961. It was used as a private residence for quite a few years until this Fredericksburg Baptist Church bought it. They do say that there are probably a lot more burials there than the headstones that still remain. How many there are, there's just not the records to know. But that it is cool to get a little more information. It does talk about this. So the Evangelical Association, that's why it's called the Evangelical Meeting House, because it was started here in 1844. This was one of those churches that was built from the Evangelical Association that Jacob Albright and John Walter, which is a video we'll be doing as well at some point, that they started. And that eventually, out of that, the church that's across the street from where I live in Steelstown, the Evangelical Congregational Church, actually came out of that. And I think also United Methodist, some part, like a lot of them got absorbed into that. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool building. It's cool to find that history. Thanks once again to the folks that told me to, hey, get the Find a Grave app. It's a great tool. This is stuff I would have never known otherwise. So so we're gonna go head over to the next small cemetery, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Actually, cool information there. So thanks everybody. We'll see you in a second. Alright, we are here at Union Bethel Church. This is actually this church was started in 1844. Has something to do, I believe, it's EUB Church. It's Evangelical Union something or something other. I had to look up exactly what that means, but this building here was actually used, I believe, until it was built in 1844, but was used till 1961, I believe, and then it was bought by the Fredericksburg Community Association. It was sort of, members just eventually just ran out of members, so now it's run by Family Harvest Mennonite Church. But this actually was the Fredericksburg Library for quite a number of years, and then eventually it was a youth center that I helped out with. And there was a whole fenced in area here, and this was the gateway to Union Bethel Cemetery. Let's see what it says here. This cemetery restored in 1989. But yeah, this is a very small cemetery. Only a couple stones. I think they say 6. Was actually about 7 or 8 here. Not really, you can't really read any of these. These would be German most likely. Now this one, there is one here you can. And I think that stone is actually, said is Adam, looks like Petrie. And then it's probably his wife is buried there as well, because he was 1790 to 1857. She was 1787 to 1867. But this is one of those little cemeteries. You never really looked into it at all. But I think I worked here at the youth center for at least 5 or 6 years. It's a really neat building. A lot of good memories, some not so great memories. But so this is Union Bethel Cemetery. It's another one of these right here in Fredericksburg. I'm assuming this is probably a child. It's in German. But these stones are actually pretty clean. I mean, they were restored in 1989, so that's probably a major reason. But unfortunately, a lot of the writing is no longer here to be able to see. But I'll put this together with the video for the other church that was here in Fredericksburg. I just quick did these two, and cool history. Both of them Started in 1844. So this is the Bethel, Union Bethel Cemetery. I believe that's what I said. So, cool. We're gonna go get some gas, and then we're gonna go and see if we can hit 2 more locations, see what we can see. All right, thanks everybody.